Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast tactical video. Today we continue our look at the Harlequins Codex with the next unit, the SkyWeavers. So stay tuned and let's begin. Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast tactical video. Today we continue to look at the role and use of the Harlequins Codex. We've been going through all the different units in the Codex. As always, check the links down below for all the other videos in the tactical series that we've been running, as well as battle reports and the blog and Patreon page where you can support the channel and its content. Become a Skyrite today, get some cool perks and bonuses. So we're looking at the next unit in the Harlequins book. I've had a lot of fun reviewing this book, and as always it's in two parts. First, I talk a little bit about what the unit is, in this case the SkyWeaver jet bikes, and then we talk about their role and use and tactical implications. It's a very basic tactical video series, but leave a comment below. Let us know what you think, how you like it, and what you will do with the unit itself. Okay, so let's dive in, shall we? SkyWeavers. Heavily armed and incredibly fast, squads of SkyWeavers outmaneuver their foes before cutting them to pieces with concentrated firepower. Their ripping streams of shuriken fire and crackling bolts of electromagnetic energy slaughter foot troops and reduce enemy tanks to sparking wrecks with equal ease. When they deign to close with their foe, SkyWeavers are equally lethal. Their players hurling star bowlers or lashing with zephyr glaives. The enemy can do little in return, for the jet bikes move faster than the eye can follow. Furthermore, they are wreathed in holographic fields and psycho-disruptive mirages that confound senses and tug at the sanity of those who dare to fight back. So in the fluff, SkyWeavers are like jet bikes. They're super fast, super aggressive, lots of guns blazing, but also very capable of dealing in close quarter encounters against the enemy army. And that's going to be apparent with the unit itself and the way that it's designed. Now, the unit is quite unique. It's like really more than a pseudo jet bike. You have like a couple of things that are available to vehicles, like the holographic fields, which we're going to get to in a second. But they're also like the shock troops of the Harlequin army. They're the toughest thing you can get in the army. You know, they're quite fast, they're resilient, and they have some really good close combat potential in the form of the zephyr glaives, but also some really nasty anti-heavy infantry firepower with the star bowlers. They can be kitted out to deal with infantry, and they can be kitted out to deal with tanks. So they're quite versatile. And, you know, they're rather expensive point-wise as well. But, in my opinion, well worth it. So, what is a StarWeaver, and what do we get in a StarWeaver unit? So, StarWeaver unit begins at 100 points, and it's 2 StarWeavers. Each SkyWeaver, not StarWeavers. We'll get to StarWeavers later. SkyWeavers. Each SkyWeaver has a weapon skill 5 like Harlequins. Their ballistic skill 4. They are only strength 3. They have toughness 4. They are 2 wounded, so they're jet bikes with 2 wounds and toughness 4. They have an initiative of 6, which is what you can expect from a Harlequin. They have 3 base attacks, which is, you know, one. It's a bit like a Harlequin character, and one more than your average Harlequin. So they have quite a lot of attacks. Leadership 9 and a 4+ armor save. So they're not as heavily armored as their Eldar Sky Racers or Sky Dancers or whatever they're called, the Eldar jet bikes. but they're not as lightly armored as their Dark Eldar counterparts that only have like a 5+ mesh armor. So, you know, they are afraid of things like heavy bolters, anything that's AP4 or better. And considering they're only toughness 4, they are 2 wounded, but they should be wary of things that are strength 8 or higher that might instant death them. So, good things to keep in mind. Now, they are an Eldar jet bike. Means they can move 12, means they can turbo boost up to 36, means they get the Eldar jet bike move at the end of the assault phase if they don't turbo boost, which means that they would can, you know, jump out of cover, shoot you, jump back into cover, you know, or get away from charges or whatever it is that you need to do with the unit at the time. Very maneuverable. The basic unit is 2 SkyWeavers, so they're 50 points apiece. Now, they come armed with a holo suit. Holo suit gives them a 5+ invulnerable save. They come with star bowlers. Now, star bowlers are a special kind of shooting weapon. So a star bowler is a 12-inch weapon that is strength 6, AP 2. It's assault 1 blast, so small blast, and it's 1 use only. So within 12 inches, they can launch these little explosive grenade style like star bowlers 12 inches away. Very good strength, very good AP. It's very dangerous against tightly packed units of, you know, Space Marines or Terminators or anything that's really tough. You know, they can take down crisis suits, they can take down a lot of things that require an armor to save, and within a very short range. Personally, I love the star bowlers. Great against things like Necrons, Scarabs, and things that are toughness, multiple wounds and toughness 3, and their AP is great. They can also hurt tanks with strength 6 and AP 2. Get behind the enemy, throw them at a side armor. You know, you can potentially do some damage to a vehicle. So, very versatile weapon. Now, it is 1 shot only, so make sure it counts. When you're going to go for them, go for them. They also have Mirage Launchers. Now, Mirage Launchers are a vehicle upgrade for the Harlequins. And a Mirage Launcher is, instead of using its Jink special rule, a unit entirely comprised of models with this can trigger them when they're selected as a target of a shooting attack. If the unit triggers its Mirage Launchers, all models in the unit gain a 4+ invulnerable save against shooting attacks until the start of their next movement phase. This, in essence, is a special Jink without having to Jink, which means that they can shoot normally next turn and don't count as Jinking, but also provides a 4+ invulnerable save. Now, this is highly important because there are a lot of units or models that ignore Jink or ignore cover. This means that at a critical point of the battlefield, once per game, you can have your unit of SkyWeavers make sure that they have the resiliency to survive and get into combat or get close enough to use their star bowlers without sacrificing the ability to shoot, making them very versatile at the right moment or pivotal turn of the battle where you're going to go in for the kill. So, they also have a SkyWeaver jet bike. And a SkyWeaver jet bike has a special rule that is just a jet bike. They have a 4+ armor save, and they come with a shuriken cannon. So it's just a 24-inch, 3-shot, strength 6, blade storm cannon. So good against monster creatures, light tanks, you know, Space Marines, things like that. Now, they do have special rules. As a Harlequin, they cause fear. They have Furious Charge, and they do have Hit and Run. So those are basic Harlequin special rules. Fear, Furious Charge, Hit and Run. Now, what options do you have? The first option is including up to 4 additional SkyWeavers. So the minimum unit is 2. You can add up to another 4 and have a unit of 6 maximum, which is 12 wounds. So 6 maximum would be 300 points for an entire unit of SkyWeavers. Not bad. Personally, I only own 4, and I would usually be running them in 2 units of 2. One designed for anti-tank, one designed for anti-infantry. That's the way that I'm thinking of running them and using them in my own Harlequin force. Any model may replace their Star Bowlers with a Zephyr Glaive for 10 points a model. Now, a Zephyr Glaive is a close combat weapon, and what it is a +1 strength or user strength, AP2 or AP3. So, on a turn that it charges, it becomes strength +1, AP2, which means with Furious Charge, you're looking at a grand total of strength 5, AP2 for each Zephyr Glaive. And if they haven't charged, it's just strength 3, AP3, kind of like a power weapon. So it is a melee unit. They have to give up their Star Bowler attack in order to become better at melee. So honestly, I like the upgrade, but it makes an already expensive model more expensive. So I would probably use, maybe 2 in a unit of 4, maybe 3 in a unit of 6, but I wouldn't do it in a unit of 2 unless I just gave it to both of them and just ran them straight at the enemy, or like some backfield units that I wanted to take out and pick on with a small unit of SkyWeavers. Any model can replace their SkyWeaver Jetbike Shuriken Cannon with a Haywire Cannon for 5 points per model. Now, a Haywire Cannon is a 24-inch range weapon that's strength 4, AP4, heavy 1 blast, Haywire. So it's strength 4, AP4. So it's like a frag rocket. So it's pretty good against like scouts, lightly armored troops, things like that. So you can shoot against infantry to good effect, being AP4. But it's also Haywire, which means that affecting tanks, you can do some Haywire hits. So quite effective, cheap at only 5 points, allows the SkyWeavers to go over and start tackling some heavier tanks. Now, because it's only 1 Haywire hit per jet bike, if your blast hits, this means that you're going to need to have at least 3 or 4 jet bikes to truly be effective anti-tank with Haywire cannons, because you're not always guaranteed to get 3 hull points off of 3 Haywire cannons, because the Haywire might not do anything. So don't rely on it, but they'd be great to pick off the last couple of hull points on a tank here or there, or to soften up a tank over the course of the game. With the 24-inch range, they have to be really close to the enemy, but with their Eldar Jetbike move, they can consistently move up, shoot, move back out of line of sight, or move back out of danger from assaults. So they do become more expensive, but to be honest, I would be okay with the Haywire Cannon, considering they have the fields where they can jink without jinking, and they have holo suits, which gives them the invulnerable save. I wouldn't be too worried about it at all. Now, the one thing they don't have is a flip belt, so it does mean that they will have to take dangerous terrain tests like any other jet bike. What else do they have? Okay, so we've been looking at the SkyWeavers. That is it. So, uses for the SkyWeavers. Now, there's a couple of different formations that the SkyWeavers go in. Now, we'll be touching on specific Harlequin formations later in the tactical series. So let me know, have you used SkyWeavers? How have you used them before? Leave a comment down below. Check out the other videos in the tactical series with the links in the description, or the blog where I do have different tactical articles, video battle reports, and the Patreon page. Thanks to the patrons, I have purchased a army of Harlequins, which I will be painting up and I will be playing. This will add a lot to the tactical experience and entertainment value, as you'll actually get to see them play on the tabletop, which is always better than just theory hammering things out. So let me know what you think down below. Let's continue the discussion. I wouldn't put any characters in the SkyWeavers simply because you don't want to slow them down, and you don't really want to put an Eldar character or a Dark Eldar character in there so that they can use their Mirage Launchers once per game and survive enemy damage. So use them as harassment units. Take them with Haywire cannons to destroy tanks. My favorite loadout right now is 2 SkyWeavers, 100 points, with the Star Bowlers and the Shuriken cannons. Just stock StarWeavers, in my opinion, are very useful multi-purpose units that are great for harassing the backfield of the enemy army. With their high maneuverability being Eldar jet bikes, you know, moving and then turbo boosting 36 inches. It's a 48-inch movement. They can be anywhere on the table in one turn of movement. And you have to use that to pressure the opponent early in the game as the rest of the Harlequins move up and get into a position to offer a killer strike that will then dismember the enemy army. So let me know what you think. Thanks a lot to the patrons who support the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, let me know. The links are down below. This is Skari, your grateful host, and we'll see you next week with another tactical video. Stay tuned, and this is Skari, out.